Another cool thing you can do with double stroke rolls once you get them to a clean place is use them as fills, like say on the hi-hat, because if you close your hi-hat really tight, you can really hear all those individual strokes. Right, so you can use that when you're playing a 16-note kind of groove on the hi-hat, right? Like 3. Okay, that kind of thing. You can also play it like on the snare drum, just as a roll, and like put an accent on a downbeat, and then maybe move the accents to like some kind of tricky places, but still keeping track of the quarter note and still playing clean doubles in between. Okay, so okay, that's kind of cool. So, I mean, again, like keeping track of like making them clean, but that's in a fast context. Playing clean doubles at like medium and slower contexts actually sounds pretty cool too, because it really spells out like the cleanliness of them, right? When I was working on double strokes, sometimes I'd focus on one hand, like my left hand was a little weaker than my right, and so I would play double strokes with my left, and only singles with my right, okay? So we'd play like 16th notes, and only double the left hand, right? So like, all just keeping my hands doing the 16-note motion, but like doubling with my left hand. Instead of doubling with the left hand, we can double with the right and single the left. But if we're playing 16 notes, the left hand is playing like those syncopated notes, like the E and the right? So that'll help you keep track of that stuff and really solidify like what that sounds like in relationship to the quarter note. Okay, so if you're like, it's okay to be sloppy, it's okay to be messy, it's certainly okay to buzz, but I just want to do that stuff on purpose for musical reasons. So if I'm playing stuff, I want to be able to play clean if that's what I want to hear in my head, and if I think it's time to play a little sloppy, then I want to be able to do that too. I don't want to only be able to play it one way and hope that that way's good enough for the music that I'm playing. So spend a little time just playing sloppy, playing crap, playing clean, playing tight, and try to develop the ability to turn those switches on and off whenever you want, right? And have your body recognize when that happens and get used to that so that you are in control of when that stuff happens instead of, again, only being able to play one way, right? A quick note on practicing this stuff. A lot of the students I deal with tend to practice things in what I call checklist style, which is putting things in a list and finishing them after they've practiced it, but not really recognizing that it's not really at the level that it should be if they want to get to as good as they want to be. You know, I find a lot of people aren't as good as they want to be, but they're not sure why, and really they are practicing the right stuff, you're just not practicing it enough. So try not to approach things from like a checklist style, like yes, I can do that, I don't have to work on it anymore. A lot of this stuff that we're talking about, a lot of basic stuff, I think it's kind of like a never-ending journey to keep working on that stuff and find new ways to get it sounding good in different contexts. Like it's possible that, hey, I have this concept happening like really fast, but like when you slow it down, maybe it doesn't sound that good. Forcing yourself to play stuff slow is priceless because it forces your brain to examine them in kind of a precise and surgical way, and that'll help you play it faster, actually, not just from a physical standpoint, but from a mental standpoint, because it'll help you visualize things and where they fall in relationship to the quarter note and keep things, what I like to call, like on the grid. And I say that because a lot of guys will play stuff, and the stuff that they play, they're not exactly intending to play. It just kind of is the result of what they're doing. And they think that it works, but it's not exactly what they want, and they're not sure why. Well, that's the reason, is because there's an aspect to their playing that's literally accidental, or it's literally by chance, as opposed to taking complete control, and this is what I want the ghost notes to sound like, this is what I want the volume of the notes to sound like in relationship to each other. This is the volume of the hi-hat versus the bass drum versus the snare drum versus the ride cymbal. It's like being your own engineer in real time. I call it like real time producing, you know. And it's like these guys that are scientists at mixing records. It's like you got to mix yourself in real time, and that's not going to happen by itself. You have to be aware of what you want, and you have to be able to do it. And that's only going to come from practicing this stuff enough so that you don't really have to worry about it, right? You don't want the knob to not obey you if you want to turn something up or down. You just want to turn it up or down, right? And so that will happen if you practice this stuff enough. You can turn your knobs up and down. So that's really helpful. Yeah, double strokes. Fun stuff. But not a toy. Don't hurt anyone with double strokes, all right?